Hello.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, let me turn you up a little bit.
Facts. Let me turn this up some.
Ooh, yes, let's get into it.
Oh my god.
Yes,
I'm so excited. This is so overdue.
man, literally. Yes, 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 and we're back. Loyal royalties.
Okay, I know we've been gone a minute, but we're here now. That's all that matters.
Okay, how are the royalties doing?
Okay, I mean, these past 2 weeks have been a struggle, but I'm still hanging in there. How are you, Queen Jack?
Same for me. It's been a little test,
Hmm.
but we've gotten through. So, you know, it's nothing we can't overcome.
Okay, period. It's a hard day, not a hard life.
Okay, period. Um, so I kind of wanted to figure out how to do this first episode.
Mhm.
This is the first one with us both together. So, we gotta make it epic for the team.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I was thinking, well, I wanted to do like a Q&A, but every time I make a post about it, don't nobody give me no questions to be answered or anything like that. So,
Um, well, a Q&A between like you and I or between like us and the viewers?
well, I wanted to do it between us and, the listeners, but since it's just us two right now,
Okay.
uh, we can do it between us, uh, if you
Okay.
want, or we can do something else. I just want to, figure out how we should do the first episode.
I mean, you got any questions like in mind for me or
Um, well, let me think. Oh, my first question. What are you eating right now?
I'm I'm surprised you could hear that. It must be chewing hella loud.
No,
Um
we got the special quality over here.
okay, we got that studio equipment. Um
Okay, I'm tuned in.
I'm just eating a cheese stick right now. Haven't had
Okay.
breakfast, none of that. Um
Okay. So what is breakfast?
right. We just skipped to breakfast at 3 in the afternoon, but
Okay.
um oh, wow. Yo.
Okay. Hey there.
Y'all heard that?
Okay. They tuning in.
Okay. They said we checking out the pod.
Okay.
But no, how was your morning, Queen?
My morning's been pretty good. The queen was knocked out. You was calling me and calling me. Um, I had literally like just fell asleep. Um, but my morning's been pretty good. Outside of the fact of the little tea you spilt to me this morning about those certain individuals, but we
My
won't say
bad.
any names.
No, you want to address that? We could, if you'd like.
Um, my whole thing about that situation. Okay, well, let me let me take it back a little bit.
Okay.
So basically, guys, the situation um is the fact that particular people that we associate with
Hmm.
um using derogatory words towards the gay community. And the specific word um is that word faggot. We don't like that. Now, the reason why is because, like I said, it's a derogatory word. It's a degrading word. It's a belittling word. It's a word that um it's like dehumanizing to the to the gay community. And like you were saying earlier, it's very much like if someone was to call me a nigger, like I'm just not about to accept that. Like no. Especially when it's um intentional.
Hmm.
You understand? Like I can understand certain people um well not really understand, but it's a level of respect for people,
Right.
and in this case for the gay community because we are people. Um I remember watching a video of this person on TikTok, and he was basically like educating this it was a gay male, and he was on a podcast, with a straight male, and he was basically like educating him. I think I sent you that link, Queen.
I
But
think I remember vaguely. Yeah.
well, basically, the straight man had a few questions about like, well, his question was like, why is it offensive when I say, oh, that's gay? When like, playing a video game and like someone does something he doesn't like or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
And the reason is being that,
You're using it
uh,
in a negative context.
yeah, you're using it, yeah, very much that. Um, and it's not okay. It's just simply not okay. That's like calling someone with a mental disability the R word. That's
Hmm.
just something you don't do. Um,
By saying
now
something
it's
that's gay, you're implying that there's something like wrong or like bad with that, or you're
that part, yeah,
attaching like a negative connotation to
yeah,
that word.
and that was his I think exact explanation was that you're implying that there's something wrong with gay people,
Mhm.
and there's nothing wrong with us. If anything,
Okay.
I'm not even about to go there, but
That's another topic for a different pod.
okay. Um, but there's just a level of respect, like I was saying, and I like the reason why I liked it and I had shared it with you is because like nobody was being offensive between them two. They were simply like the guy was simply educating the other guy
Right.
as to why it's offensive and why you shouldn't say it and like a better way of saying something other than that. And that's my whole problem with people using that word. It's like it's not okay. Either way, any way that you put it, it's just not okay.
Right. And the fact that this certain individual knew of my sexual orientation and chose to use those words while I was in their presence says a
Right,
lot
yeah,
more too. It says that he was trying to exert his dominance over me, exercise his white privilege over me and all of his privilege. Because again, we are both people of color, Queen Jackson and I. We are both also members of the LGBTQ community. And it's just, it's very disgusting to see someone of that age, 40 years old, to be using that type of terminology, especially knowing that the person that they are, interacting with is
right.
also, a member of the gay community. So that was just disgusting. On
Yeah, in all actuality, it says a lot about your character and the type of person you are. And like you said, it is disgusting. It's gross. It's sick.
and it's
Especially like you said, the age, child, the age. That's what sent me. Because, I was, when you were explaining it to me, I just automatically assumed it was like people of our age, but you got a whole 2 decades above us.
right. And it's like I don't want to say understanding because you should never be tolerable of those types of hateful words, but I
Word.
could I could understand more if they were a younger individual, because you know they might not understand the capacity, they might understand the power of their words or the things that they're saying because they're still young. But
Right.
when you're in your 40s, you kind of should know, like, hey, like, words hurt, words mean a lot, they carry a lot of weight to them,
Right.
so I need to be mindful of what I say and mindful of whom I'm around when I say certain things. And so
Yeah.
for the fact that I had to educate someone who was, like you said, 2 decades older than me was very, I want to say, just like shocking. You know, I would expect
Yeah.
someone who's, double my age essentially to know how to conduct themselves, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I am also disappointed with a few other people because the whole situation was honestly handled terribly on on this other individual's hand, and also some certain individuals that I chose to associate with. They also kind of were like bystanders, and I'm also just disappointed with mostly everyone across the board at this point because the lack
Right.
of intervention, the lack of, you know, of just being like an ally, basically,
Right.
and that was just
Yeah.
really disappointing for me.
Yeah. Mm, like I said, the man. I want to apologize again for being asleep because like I said, I had just fell asleep and everything like that. But if Queen Jack was there,
Oh, I know. I know.
it would have been a different story. Okay.
It would
And
have
that's
been.
my thing, like when you saying like not really understanding, but having a different like how I want to say this. I guess being more understanding, for like a better words,
Mhm,
for like a certain individual if they were like at a younger age, because it's like like you said, they might not know as much as we do, or have understanding of how their words can be offensive.
mhm,
Um, that's why I was like, with him, it's different because he did it intentionally,
right.
um, to seek out to harm and be offensive and rude and disrespectful and disgusting.
Mhm,
Um, whereas other people are like, if it was someone of a younger age, I wouldn't be as like um what's a good word to use? Disgusted, I guess, really.
right.
Disgusted is the word of the day, guys. I wouldn't be as disgusted because they're still growing and learning and coming into maturity and understanding of like certain things uh in this situation,
Right.
as in regards to the gay community. I wouldn't be as disgusted because you can still teach them and give them understanding and insight. And that takes me back to what I was saying about the podcast with those two gentlemen. You
Mhm,
know, I really liked it because he was sitting there educating the straight male, if you will, or heterosexual male, um, about like why it's not okay and why it's offensive to us. And it just really warmed my heart because it was like there was no arguing, no bickering going back and forth, um, trying to emasculate another individual or whatever.
mhm.
It was very much just providing education and giving enlightenment.
I
And
really
that's
like, yeah, I really liked that video too because it really highlighted like a lot of the issues within our society in regards to like white privilege, because a lot of white people, at least in the US society, I can't speak for, other countries, but at least what I notice here is that a lot of white people are very ignorant to their own white privilege. They're not aware that, they can go outside and like, they can go outside and go for a drive and they won't get pulled over by a police officer. They can walk past a woman on the side of the street and, the woman's not going to clutch her handbag afraid that she's going to get robbed. It's
oh
just
my
those
God,
little things that, that these white people are unaware of. And that's, really like dangerous because they go through life assuming that everything's equal, everyone's like experiences everything the same, and that's not how it is. People go through life differently. They experience things differently, especially when you incorporate race into that. A black
Yeah,
person's experience is completely different of that of a white person.
completely different. I'm so glad that you brought that up because I remember it's so crazy because like I'll be watching so many like different things and it'd be really informational and educational and stuff. But like I can never remember where I see stuff at. But I
Mhm,
remember seeing or hearing someone say like you were saying, a white person or a person of no color, that's what I'm gonna say. A non-melanated person,
mhm,
like you said, could just walk outside freely and not give a care in the world. They could just go and do what they want to do. But they were saying, as far as us, people of color, melanated folk, they was
mhm.
like, we have to literally gear up to go out, like
Right.
get ready and get prepared to go out into the world. And it's like we should not have to feel like that or have to do anything like that.
Like we have to look over our shoulders in the store and be
Yeah,
like, "Oh, are the employees going to think we're stealing something? Do we look suspicious? Oh, maybe I shouldn't walk into the store with my hood on because they might think I'm going to rob them or something." When in actuality,
yeah,
I'm just cold or I forgot to
right.
take my
That
hood
part,
off. Like it's never, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing between a person and non-person of color.
right. It's very not. It's very much not the same thing. We live two different lives.
And that's why I don't believe there ever will be equality in the world. There will always be people who have those preconceived notions of people of color. There's always going to be people who are going to be hateful and people who are always going to, you know, try and create like divisions and segregate others. But all we can do is we can choose to surround ourselves with people who aren't like that and aren't of that mindset.
Man,
And that's
I don't
why
know. I still have hope. A part of me still has a little bit of hope.
I would like to believe that, but I think my mom used to say this or my dad. As long as there's more than one person on the planet, there will always be conflict. There will always be some sort of
Yeah,
conflict. And
that.
that's kind of what that's kind of what I ascertained too with issues with race and equality. There's always going to be people who think they're better than one another based off of the dumbest things. Like it's even an issue amongst like the Spanish community too. There's like this weird hierarchy among Hispanic people where like Puerto Ricans and like Peruvians, just whatever groups of Hispanic people you have will like try and rank themselves among like other Hispanics to be like, oh, Mexicans are like they're like the worst. They're cholos, they're like ghetto, they're this, they're that. There'll always be like hierarchies within everything. There will always be individuals who think that they're better than another group because I guess so for some people they have to belittle others to make themselves feel better and
And that's
just
so insane.
right. And it's just really like it's just really interesting to see that, but it's also just so like you kind of want to know why, like why can't we just exist to exist and just be who we are, like why do we have to have all
Yeah,
these labels and create all like these different categories and categorize ourselves? Why can't we just be humans and just be living on a planet and
that
all of
part.
that? you know
Yeah,
I
I
just
definitely agree with that. Before we used to be one people,
We did, yeah. And then,
believe it or not.
yeah, it was just, I don't know what it turned into, but I don't understand, like, why there always has to be conflict. But
Man.
yeah,
Man. Um, that podcaster though, I want to I want us to like collab with him, God willing,
Mhm,
cause like his show, it was really inspiring. And this was before. Well, of course it was before. I started. We started ours, but
mhm.
um, I've been sitting on this for a while. I didn't even tell you about it till like a while after I was sitting on it, and I was like, we gonna do a podcast.
Okay, and that's where
Um,
we are now.
okay,
Oh, I just wanna touch back onto the issue with that certain individual. It's
okay,
just not only the fact he's older than me, double my age, it's also the fact that after I approached him, he didn't feel like it was appropriate to apologize in any way, kind of just like downplay it and be like, "Oh, you're
yeah,
making a actually saying like, "Oh, it's no big deal." And no, it is a big deal. That's a huge deal. That's literally you're being homophobic. You're literally saying a word that is very hurtful to the entire gay community and harmful, you know.
right,
And so for you to be that age saying those things, but then also not acknowledging that you made a mistake and then apologizing is really concerning. It's really
yeah, it really
concerning
is. And
because
another thing that's concerning. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if this individual has children, but I hope not because I hope he's not instilling that same hate and that those same practices into their children and then raising them and putting them out into the world to breed more hate. That's what I'm fearful of too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because children are like sponges. They see and they just absorb and they do what they see and they hear. That's how
That's
they
fact.
become who they are. And so if they're around that, they're gonna practice that and they're going to the real world and be like, oh, like, they're gonna be hateful. They're gonna be like, oh, this person's a F word, you're an F word, or just things like that. And that's not what we need. That's really not what we need, especially after this Trump
Yeah.
presidency. We do not need more of that.
Okay.
We are still recovering from that Trump presidency.
Uh, man.
But I'm sorry, Queen, what were you gonna say a moment ago?
Um, you said something was. I can't remember the words you used, but I was gonna say another thing that just blows my fucking top is the fact that none of those individuals took a stance, like stood up for
Mhm.
you or anything. And that's upsetting and disgusting to me as well.
Right. And it's the fact too that I had to get upset with. Um, I guess I was wrong to say that none of them did stand up. Two of them did end up standing up for me, but it was just upsetting and disappointing to see that I had to be upset and I had to reach out to them to make them take an initiative to say something, you
Right.
know? Like I had to be the one to be like, I'm disappointed in you for not saying anything. I expected you to do that. And then after I said that, they did take action, which I'm appreciative, but it should have just, in the moment,
It
it
should have
should
been
have just
immediate
happened. Yeah.
facts.
It shouldn't have had to, I shouldn't have had to like feel like I was alone you know, and that was really disappointing to see. But I've made amends with them at this point. I've made amends with them and they've apologized to me and I'm just still kind of like reevaluating my friendships with the other individuals right now
Man,
because how are you going to accept how are you going to claim to accept me but when it comes down to it when I need your assistance or I need you to kind of be there to back me up you're not there then
right.
that's showing me you're not really accepting of me you're just saying what you think I want to hear to my face but then doing something else and that's the one
Fact.
I need people who can back me up when I need backup.
Okay, in my absence.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm taking a step back right now, and I'm thinking, doing a lot of thinking, because I'm not like that. I'm a person who I don't have a lot of friends, to be honest, but I
Okay,
care about the friends that I do have, and I am loyal to the friends that I do have. I prefer quality over quantity. I will
that
be
part.
there for any of my friends who may need me, and that's what I expect back, because I I give others what I expect in return. So if I'm there for you and I have, you have my loyalty, I expect your loyalty in return. I maybe that's a lot for some people, and maybe that's where I need to take a step back with some individuals and maybe not associate with them and cut ties with them. But um and maybe sometimes I'm too trusting. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like I'm very picky and I'm very closed off with a lot of
Right.
people that I associate with until I get to know them a bit more, and then I start to open up. But I don't open up until I feel like I can trust someone, or I feel like that they are down for me. And it's really kind of bothers me that I did open up to these individuals about certain things, but I guess my judgment was wrong. And that does bother me somewhat, to see that was not able to assess their character, I guess, properly or correctly.
Yeah. Don't be upset about that though, because we all misjudge sometimes. It
Yeah.
happens. Um, it is unfortunate when it's people that you care about and that you look out after.
Hmm.
But we live and we learn.
That's true. That is true. I mean, we're learning every day, but I would just hope that at this age I would know how to pick and choose, like, the good people from the bad people, for a lack of better terms. I wish I just knew how to avoid, like, people who wouldn't benefit me and I wouldn't be able to benefit them.
Yeah,
Because when I'm in a friendship, that's all I look for, is people who we can mutually benefit each other. If like
that part.
if I can
Yes,
benefit you and you can benefit me, perfect. We're gonna be great friends. We're gonna get along. But if it's one sided, I don't want anything to do with that, because
man.
I'm not someone's, shoulder to cry on, and then when I have an issue, just basically told to go and, like, figure it out myself or go take care of it on my own. No,
Yeah,
there needs to be some reciprocation, in a friendship, in any type of relationship, actually. In all your
yeah,
relationships, you should be reciprocating. If someone has something they need to get off their chest, they should be able to do that. But at the same time,
yeah.
that other person should be able to, say what's on their mind.
That
And
part.
I think in this day and age, people are just so more focused on themselves and what's going on in their lives. Their lives are so bad. This, and this. Oh, this happened to me. This happened to me then. Oh, I'm still recovering from this. But no one really asks how, like, everyone else is doing. They're never like, "How are you doing?" Like, no one really does that anymore. Maybe a formality. They'll be like, "Hey, how are you?" But no one's really asking how you are anymore. No one's really asking if anything's going on. Like, you know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I can't remember well, other than you, I can't remember the last time someone asked me that.
Right. And it's like, we just do it as a formality. It's kind of just like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" But you just say that because that's just the greeting. No one's really asking how you are. And the
Right,
normal response is just, "Oh, I'm good." That's
right, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. So I just think maybe that's where a lot of a lot of, like, the issues, and, like, a lot of, like, the fake friendships, you'd say, come from, is
Mhm.
because no one really cares about how everyone else is doing. They're also wrapped up in their own thing and doing their own thing in themselves, which,
Man,
it's good to be focused on yourself, but at the same time, you need to, like, well, if you want to have a successful friendship, you need to, I guess, care about others.
for real.
But no,
People
that's
don't know
Sorry.
People don't know the real definition of relationship. That's the
Right.
problem. That's a big problem in itself. Like, how you gonna call me a friend? How you gonna call me your boo thang or whatever the case may be? How
Mm.
you gonna call me, your partner in work? And bitch, I'm doing other work. Like, what?
Right. Like most relationships be like 90 and 10. Like one person's 90% in, the other one's only 10%.
Right now, hold on. Like, wait a minute. What's going on here? It's supposed to be like you said, equal give and take. That's where balance come in.
Exactly. And like that's kind of why I choose to isolate and not really hang out with people anymore because
Hmm.
I'm tired of all that. Like I'm tired of being so caring and giving to
Child, you
not
and
get
me
it back.
both.
Yeah.
You and me both. Cause what? I'd rather give my love to people who gonna accept it and give me that love back.
Like it's exhausting to give your energy out and then not get
Yeah.
any
Oh,
back.
child. Yes, that part. I used to do that all the time, and will always find myself in compromising or compromising situations, and I'm just like, for what? The only person I'm hurting is myself, giving all my love away and
Exactly.
just always being there for other people and they don't return.
It's a double-edged
That's why
sword though
it really is. Yeah.
because you want to hang out with people, but at the same time it's like I hang out with people and there's going to be issues or like you said, like I'm going to be just be expending my energy and not getting anything in return. So,
Baby. This candle smells so good, child. This mug ain't never been lit. It's a fresh candle.
are you eating something?
Yes, you know the queen is always eating. Ask me that.
What is on the
Um,
menu?
so earlier I was eating applesauce, but now we eating peaches. Oh, peaches.
Oh,
Aha.
apple pies, thick thighs.
Okay, yes. And you know I gotta get that patented because that's going on merch.
Okay, man, those big corporations probably listening right now.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You know we got a couple of them that be tuning in.
They're probably tuning in right now.
Okay, they said, "Oh, podcast, Jack." So we gotta follow.
They said the Queens is live.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
You can't mute me now, bitch.
Man.
um,
This
do you
week,
have any? Huh?
I said this week was just, and it just started. It was
Right, I'm
exhausting.
like, it's only Tuesday too. Like, gee, now hold on.
Man, like, and it's just crazy too, because I get on the game to just relax and like just not worry about anything. Because at this point in my life right now, I'm really stressed out like all the time. And so I just go to play games to like escape and like get away, just take my mind off things. And it's like I can't even do that now because
Facts. What is going on?
right, like I'm like, damn, I can't even play this video game without there being some drama. So I'm just like, maybe I just need to go back to playing by myself and just being by myself.
Ooh, playing by yourself or playing with yourself.
Yeah, that
No,
part.
for real. No pun intended.
More people, more problems.
Okay. Yeah. Excuse me for slurping y'all, but child.
I know we on our lunch break, y'all.
Okay.
It is lunchtime right now. Y'all can hear Queen Piper in the back
Okay.
jingling.
Okay. Queen Sasha just over here laid out. She
Man,
just cut. I was gonna say though, you have any questions for me?
Um, I want to know how school's going because I know you've been in school, but you haven't really said much about that.
Oh yeah. Well, um, right now I'm on a break. Um, I talked to them about taking a little break because there was just a lot going on. And it's kind of remind me like in 2018 when I first tried to when I first applied for school and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was during a time when, I was going through a transition and everything, and like everything was beginning to change. I'm kind of in like that similar situation right now,
Mm-hmm.
where like everything has changed and for the better this time. Well, last time it was for the better. But last time it was just, some some illnesses involved and all that. But this time, it's for the better, for my sake. And I asked them for a break because, like as I was talking to you earlier about the things with Auntie Jack and all that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that I have everything whenever I do certain things. I want to do it um like strategically,
But
if
so,
that's right.
so you're on a break right now from school?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I go back in May, so next month. So I got some time
Mm-hmm.
um to get everything situated, which like I was saying earlier, it's like it's so perfect like this, and that's why like I'm so like my faith is so strong and everything like that because everything that happens now, it's like divine timing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it cannot be a more perfect time or series of events that go on in my life in the way that it goes on. Um, I'm like, it's perfect that, I get this break because now I can fully focus on the work things and get that situated. And I got like about I gotta have a few weeks to get everything, under my belt, which it should take just about that really,
Mm-hmm.
um, to get everything together. Um, you know what though? I'm kind of upset. Um, I don't want to go off topic, but remember that thing I sent you and I asked you to like log in to like take a look at it?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so I had like a trial. It was like a 12-day trial or something like that. And the
Mm.
trial is almost up and like I really wanted to get that up and running because like oh my God, Queen. Because that'll just be another, avenue of revenue.
Okay.
For real.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I can like that's a way to make money in our fucking sleep, and that's really what I need right now.
That's what we
Um,
both need right now.
man. Okay. With everything that's going on. Um, so we're gonna talk more about that when we get over here or whatever. But yeah, it's just like everything is like perfect timing. And that's why I just, it's like I've been going hard and striving for everything that I want to happen. And it's been coming together quite collectively. But it's like now, it's like I gotta buckle up and
Okay.
on the
Well,
gas.
Well, yeah, I think you'll be fine though, Queen, because you were an opportunist. I mean, I did call you that one night. I think it was January, February. I called you and you're like, Queen, I'm moving to Arizona. And I was like, holy shit,
Yeah,
already?
girl. Yes, the bags are packed. You know, like,
Yeah. You're like, I'm on the plane tomorrow. And I was like, holy shit.
okay. Yes, that is so insane. That is so insane because it's just you bringing that up, like, and I always bring this up, but when you were talking about like Queen, what we doing another live and da 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 da, da,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, Queen, I don't know, I'm just waiting for the right time and all that. It's crazy because like I really still remember stuffing their stockings whatnot.
Okay.
I remember that episode and like just like it was yesterday, and it was like I spoke everything into existence leading up
Mhm.
to that moment, and then I remember saying like, I'm gonna be off for a minute because I'm about to be getting into some things. Um, I really was like, I meant that from the bottom of my heart, but it was like, I guess me stepping out on faith and just
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 doing
saying
it.
it without knowing everything and having everything put together. It was just like God intervened and start making moves happen, and I'm just like, oh my God. And still to this day, like I said, when I stepped off the plane, it was just business, business,
Mm.
business, work, work, work.
Right.
Um,
And I think that was important too because yeah, I think you got too comfortable in Ohio.
yeah, I really
So
did.
I would think it was just a time for change.
hmm And a wise queen once said, a wise queen once said, how'd you say it? Said if you're comfortable.
You're not growing.
Yeah, you said if you're comfortable, then you're not growing, babe. Get that shit done today.
Okay.
I was like, yes, ma'am, let's go.
And it's
It was
true
very
though.
powerful.
Sometimes
It
you can
is.
get too comfortable and then you get stuck because you're like, well, I'm fine here. I'm comfortable. Everything's cool. But then you can't grow. Nothing's gonna
Yeah,
progress. You can't move
comfortable.
forward.
Right.
You're just stuck in a
You
cycle.
child that part. And I did not see, but I was stuck, y'all. Stuck like Chuck in the muck.
And that's how I'm feeling right now because I've been looking for a job for a whole year now. And I think it might be coming to an end, hopefully. I'm praying, but it's exhausting, honestly, having to be stuck in a cycle like that. Having to like get all them like you apply, you put yourself out there, and it's like one rejection after the next, a rejection here, a rejection there. Oh, like here's an interview, and then you're not selected, or it's just a whole like draining process. And maybe I could have, found a job by now, but honestly, I needed to take some time off here and there because I couldn't put myself through that continuously because it honestly eats away at like your mental health and your self-esteem. Like my
Yes.
self-esteem was so low when I would like get rejected because it's like, you start thinking you're like, what's wrong with me? Or why don't they like me? What did I do wrong? You start
Yeah.
thinking like that a lot and you're kind of like, okay, well, how can I fix myself? Or, oh, how can I what do I need to fix? What do I need to improve on? But sometimes it's not even that there's anything wrong with you. It's just that they found someone else within their own company and it was just quicker and cheaper to hire them, or
Yeah.
just something that could be completely unrelated to you, but we all take it personally because it's like, well, they rejected me, so what's wrong with me? There has to be something
Right.
wrong with me. So, and that's
Yeah.
why I think the recruiting process, and well, there's a lot of issues, a lot of things in the US, economy and society, but that is probably another big issue with it probably contributes to why a lot of people of color aren't advancing in more fields because there's barriers, right? There's barriers
Mhm.
to first of all to get a job somewhere you can't really the job hiring process isn't really geared towards people who are introverted, more towards like extroverts. So if you're sociable and
Mhm.
you're really good with talking to people, it might be a breeze for you. You're like, hey, like I can get this job, I can talk to people, they like me, I can make people like me, that's easy. But for people who are more introverted, like maybe myself, I'm not sure if Queen Jackson is in those situations, but I know when I'm in an interview, I'm very introverted. I'm thinking about like, oh my gosh, does this person like me? Did I say this in a weird way? Maybe I could have answered in this way. Maybe I could have said something to make myself sound smarter. You know,
Right.
it's very you're at a disadvantage because I know I'm not to sound cocky, but I know I'm intelligent. I know that I'm not, an idiot. I know that I know some things at least. And I just feel like the whole process is tailored more to people who are extroverted and, have like connections within these companies. And I just feel like the whole process is like flawed and it could be improved on. And there needs to be other avenues of recruiting. It shouldn't have to just
Facts.
be a one-on-one interview. It could be like, complete this assessment for me so I can see that you're capable of doing the work. I think because
Right.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you know how to converse with someone about how their weekend was. As long as your job gets done and you do a good job at your job, no one cares.
Okay. The
So I
job
don't
is getting
understand.
done.
Exactly. So I don't understand why we have these recruitment processes in place that, you know, are measured like that. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense at all to me. And it bars a lot of people, and in particular people of color, because people of color
Yeah.
are, still one of the most uneducated groups in the US. So when you're uneducated, your vocabulary is limited. You don't know how to say certain things. Maybe you don't understand what, the other party is saying during an interview. So you're kind of like, I'm
Facts.
lost. I don't understand. But for people of color, non people of color, I apologize. For non people of color, they have all those advantages. They're mostly more educated than their non people of color counterparts. So they have a lot of advantages already in the workplace and in these recruitment processes because
True.
of that. And so I think and that needs to be adjusted too. I think that needs to also be reevaluated and readjusted because it is a very dehumanizing process, to say the least.
That's facts. Man, that's crazy.
It's
That's so
yeah,
true.
it's just a really vicious cycle, Queen. I just want to be out of it.
Man, that just reminds me of a status I made a while ago on Facebook about a new world order, which they've been trying to create, but they're going about it the wrong way. Um, yeah, because it's just a lot wrong um, in this world, in the day and age that we live in.
Mm,
But we still have the power and the opportunity, ability to fix it and change it for the better. And another thing, it's not just about us because after we're dead and gone, there's still generations to come.
right.
There's generations after us. So it's like, are we gonna keep going the route we go and fuck up not only ourselves, but the generations to come? Or, switch it up. And that's people are afraid of change.
They are.
People are afraid of change. They're scared of it because, they don't know the outcome.
Hmm.
And that's why I like what you said when you were saying, if you're comfortable, then you're not growing. Because when you're comfortable, you're used to everything. you're stuck in a systematic ritual, if you will,
Mhm.
or a way of doing things. But when you change, then you could bring about a different outcome and more or less a better outcome,
Right.
a more profitable one. um, and that's why we got to get uncomfortable. For real.
That's what I'm trying to do more of. Like, I'm trying to put myself more out there because I'm like, I'm getting older now. I need to change. I need certain things in my life to change. I'm gonna be 23 real soon. I need to have a job. I need to go out and like live my life already and go out and do all the things that I've been, wanting to do since I was in high school and dreaming about. Because right now, without a job, I just feel like I'm a prisoner and I can't go out and do a lot of the things that I've been dreaming of and doing and wanting to
Facts.
do. And so
Okay,
that's why I'm just so sick of being in this cycle.
man. I hear you on that part.
And it's not even just that either. It's like I can't even see the doctor without a job. I can't even go and like get new eyeglasses or get my eyes checked or go to the dentist or a lot of these
Man,
things I can't even do without a job. And it's like that's
it's
just
everything
crazy.
costs.
That's just crazy.
Um,
Like I'm pretty sure my health should be like the most important thing to like everyone's health is very important. So I don't understand why that's
right,
barred by your employment status. Like that should not be something that is correlated at all to your work. Everyone should have
facts.
access to good healthcare.
That part. Like, where's the lie?
Like I don't understand that mentality. I do not understand because I remember in college, like exactly when I was in college, I was getting health insurance because I was going to school, but it wasn't very good. A lot of things still weren't covered under that. I could see the doctor for like my physical and like I could see the dentist for like my cleanings and everything, but like if I had a cavity or a root canal, that wasn't covered. I had to pay out that out of pocket, which is just
Man,
crazy because you can't control certain things with your health. Like God forbid I had cancer or something and I needed to get a surgery. I would have had to pay for that. I would have had to
right.
pay for those things. And it's like those are out of your control. So why should you have to pay for that?
Literally.
So it's just there's a lot of issues with the US economy, which I'm so surprised that we're still living like this in 2022 because other countries have this all figured out. I don't understand why we haven't.
So, I don't know. We just stuck in a systematic way of living.
We are. We really are.
Well, I ain't gonna say stuck, but we've been conformed to it.
I think it's because people from the older generations are still in office and they're holding positions of power. I think when as you and I get older, we'll start to see more changes because
I believe so.
more people who are like around our age and among our generation will probably begin to actually implement change
Facts.
because right now a lot of like the boomers and a lot of like that generation is still in power and it's still like a
Right.
very conservative mindset.
Very never mind. I was about to say something, but I ain't about to say that. Really try to get canceled, child.
Okay.
But shout out Katanji Jackson. Queen Katanji Jackson. She's a new member of the Supreme Court, I think.
Oh yeah.
Now
I
that
think I
queen right
saw
there.
that. She was like the first black woman
Yes. Now
appointed.
let's get into it.
Yes. Okay.
Because it's Queen Jackson for me.
How fitting.
Okay, it's Queen Jackson for me. Now let's get into it, Miss Mamas.
Okay, let's get into
But
it.
no, shout out to her. She stood her motherfucking grounds.
Right.
Okay, I watched a little bit of the um dang, I forgot the name of the what's it called? I'm sorry, I'm still over here
Munching.
getting into it with this peach. But
Did she take Ruth Bader Ginsburg's like spot on the Supreme Court, or was
um you said whose?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Hey. Um that's a good question.
I'm not
Um
sure either because I know she passed away in 2020, but
yeah.
I don't know if a new judge was appointed shortly after by Donald Trump, or I'm not exactly sure.
I'm not sure either. I might have to do my research and
Mhm.
find out more. But child, yes. Okay. Um, that was a moment in history for real.
Facts.
Um, her becoming a member, like that was just so wonderful to me.
Now we just need Daddy Biden to pass away so we can have Kamala as president.
Child.
First female president.
Okay. African American.
Okay.
And matter of fact, not even African American, just of color. Okay, with
Right.
some melanin.
Okay. Now we love you, Barack, but we need a woman now.
Okay.
But apparently,
Man.
apparently they're saying like a lot of like news outlets are saying that we're not gonna see like a woman president in our lifetime because a lot of American people still feel like the country can never be led by a woman, which
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
yeah, which is so like it's just such a stupid mindset to have because it's
And
like
all honestly, in all honesty, I definitely feel like we need one. I feel like I feel like that's definitely what we need. That'll like definitely change the world around.
right.
Just think about it because a woman a woman's job is to nurture and to care for and to give love.
Hmm.
Now don't get me wrong, she can still discipline out of love,
Hmm.
but that'll change the whole world because that's what the world is lacking. It's love.
I mean, look at the
Just
UK. The Queen
just think
Elizabeth
about it.
has been, they've been doing fine, just fine, and she's been
Okay,
ruling for I'm sure like 60, 70 years now.
man.
So I don't understand where that mindset is coming of, oh, woman can't lead the country. That's not right. Like I don't understand that. I really don't. Your gender shouldn't dictate anything. It shouldn't be an indicator of anything. We're in 2022 now. Everyone should be able to do what they want to do. They should be able to they should be able to pursue what they want to pursue.
Right. Oh, this is a topic of discussion for another day because I can get into some things, y'all, that y'all not even probably ready for. Y'all not ready to have this motherfucking discussion.
Okay.
But for real, I really do think it's what we need for many different reasons. Um, and I hope we do get that one day.
Me too. I feel like they would actually bring a lot of change. You know,
Man, it really would. It will flip this motherfucking world around in a 360 and upside down, bitch.
they're already talking about Trump running for president again in like I think 2024.
Chill.
And I'm like, please no, please no.
That's another topic of discussion too.
The queens don't like Trump, y'all. So,
Man, that man's something else.
man, did he ever build that wall?
I don't think so.
That's all he was preaching about during his campaign. He said, "I'm gonna build the wall. I'm gonna build the wall." Where is it
I
now?
really, you know what? That's a good question because I don't think so, but I really don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure either because I remember he shut down the government for a minute because um they didn't want to give him the funds to build his wall. So he's like, "No, we shutting down the government for a minute." So, which was crazy. We had no government for like 2, 3 months. I think it was like 2018, 2019. That was that was our president. He said the wall is
Okay.
more important than the American people.
Okay. The healthcare.
Right, like what?
He said, "Oh, Obamacare, we don't need that. Get rid of it."
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He said that's fake news.
Oh my,
That was his favorite. That was
yo.
his favorite thing. Oh, don't believe that. That's fake news.
My man's still saying this election was rigged. He's like, it was a rigged election. Baby, no. Everyone was tired of you. After they saw the shit you was pulling in office, they said, we don't want that again. Daddy
Said, no,
Biden,
ma'am.
it's your turn. The fuck? What we really need though is Obama back.
We need Michelle in that bitch.
Okay? Shit, Michelle needs to run.
Okay. Shit, she needs a sprint.
Oh my god, wait. Actually, Kamala is the first like female vice president too though.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, I forgot about her. Whoops.
man.
Um,
We just I like how we. Well, no, this. I was gonna say it
some
felt like I was gonna feel like we. I was gonna say like we got off topic somewhat, but not really because we was talking about like hateful people and hateful things and
okay.
all that,
Hey,
and then
hating assholes.
we ended up with Donald Trump, so it's pretty fitting.
Hey yo, let's get into it.
Man,
Um, now, oh, you know what? Oh wait, I can't do that on here. Fudge. Um, Never mind that. Um, but anything else that you feel needs to be discussed or whatever the case?
I mean the pod's pretty long, so I think we should just leave it at that for now. If
Alrighty, Queen. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Loyal Royalties, your host, Queen Jack,
and co-host Queen Juice.
and we are out. Bye.
Bye.